Welcome into another edition of Sitting Down with Sgar. I'm the football voice of the Hoyas, Jeremy Huber, joined by Georgetown head coach Rob Scarlatta. And, Coach, I might have flubbed that intro, but your guys did nothing of the sort in the Valley last time out. What a win against a Lafayette team, the defending champs of the Patriot League, the favorite going in. You guys come away with a 17-0 win. And I'll ask it from this angle, Coach. I know you're a guy that obviously the wins are important, but to stack back-to-back quality performances after the win against Columbia, then turn around and beat Lafayette the way you did, had to make you feel good as a coach.
Yeah, I give the kids a lot of credit. You know, you go from the high of the Columbia week and then going into a bye, it could be a blessing or a curse. So, I was really impressed with how our kids just went back to work, looking at improving our game and knowing that, every team that we play on our schedule for the entire season, and especially from now out in the Patriot League, those are going to be battles. To go on the road and get a win in the Patriot League versus the defending champs, quality opponent, really impressed with how the kids came out and played a 4-quarter game.
And Rob, normally I try to keep it a little generic, but I had to go get these stats. Last year, Danny Lauder throws for a program record 428, 3 touchdowns. You guys only rush for 54. They rush for 142, but they gained 175, so they had a big day on the ground. This year, Danny only throws for 100, but really didn't need it because you guys rushed for 189 yards. You pick off Dean DeNoble 4 times, sack him 4 times. Again, it's kind of in the numbers there where maybe not as flashy, but more effective. Did you feel like your team kind of controlled that game?
Yeah, if you're going to win games in the Patriot League, especially as it's starting to get cooler out, we talk about it all the time, all about the ball, ground game, and explosives. And if you look at it, it's probably in the top 2 or 3 complimentary football games that we played. So once we got out to a good lead at 17-0, with the way our defense was playing, we've had the ability with our personnel this year, especially, to get in some bigger sets and some 22 and 13 personnel sets with using multiple tight ends. And that really helped us create some surfaces and present some different looks that we haven't really done here before in the run game.
Rob, we've talked about it before. You think you guys have some really talented backs now, but it really goes nowhere without that offensive line. And it felt like, looking at that group, you got some guys back. You got a healthy offensive line. It kind of showed what they could do. Coach Parton doing a great job, but kind of talk about that offensive line and what they were able to do, kind of controlling that game.
Yeah, it starts up front with our captain, with Lasini Maka. We got Mosiah Talanao back playing next to Kaysen. And, Trevor Swan, in my opinion, is one of the best offensive linemen at this level. So, you add in Josh Sawicki, plays multiple positions, as well as Greg Johnson, who's playing some center and tackle for us. So we have some depth. I think they do a great job with our scheme. And it was nice to see against a really quality Lafayette front to see us be able to run the ball when it counted. We were not flashy. There weren't a bunch of huge runs. Savion Hart ripped off his first career collegiate run was a big one. Uday had a great touchdown after the turnover. So when you look at those things, those are the flashy ones. But the 1- and 2-yard runs that we got with the running backs, with Bryce Cox running really tough, those were impressive because we were able to convert a few 3rd and 1s, a couple 4th and 1s in a critical drive. And then really when we got the ball back after the final interception, we were able to end it and just run the clock out. So when you can do that and you can show that that's part of your offense, that was great for us to be able to do. And it really does start all up front.
Rob, I want to piggyback off that. My longtime lacrosse partner, Earl Brewer, used to say, he'd been a 30-year lacrosse coach. He said, if you see when backups or new guys get into a game and the rest of the team goes crazy when they do something well, you've got a good team that's close-knit, and it's going to be a good team. On that Savion Hart run where he broke that first run, you saw that entire sideline go crazy. How good does it make you feel watching that back on tape that your guys are that engaged for the kid that is getting his chance, he does something good, and the entire team's congratulating him?
Yeah, I mean, you called it. That was one of the first clips that I showed when we met, to review the game. And, if you watch with our team, I think it's becoming a player-driven culture. And that's coming directly from our players, from our captains, our council, all the way down to the freshman class. And that was, it was everybody from the coaches to the players to our support staff. Even our equipment manager does a great job. Trey Sharp was going crazy on the sideline, and that was for about a 30-yard run. So, it's nice to see the guys supporting each other. and going to work every day. So that was one of the clips that we showed when we met as a team.
And Rob, let's flip it over again. I've waited a little longer to get to the defense, but they were the story. Anytime you can shut out a team like Lafayette, and you really have to say Cooper Blumstrom again, kind of leading the way with the 4 tackles, 2 sacks, interception that sets up your first touchdown. How has he kind of exploded like he has this year? And did you guys see it coming a little bit?
It's no surprise. Cooper's one of the first people to show up, one of the last people to leave. Extremely dedicated in the weight room with our strength conditioning staff, with the Iron Hoya staff. So, we talk about playing with relentless effort. And if you watch Cooper, that's exactly what he does.
Coach, that defense again rounding into form, and it feels like it's a combination of staying healthy, but also the younger guys and maybe the guys with less experience kind of catching on what Coach Doherty's putting out there. Is that kind of what you're seeing as the head coach?
Yeah, I believe in the last 2 games we played upwards of 20 guys on defense. So anytime that you can go in your depth and do those things, it means a couple things. We try to keep it pretty simple, make it look complicated, and the guys are playing with extremely high effort. So, the next man up mentality is definitely there with the depth in our front and in our secondary. So, it's been great to watch those guys grow, because we definitely are making strides from earlier in the season.
Rob, let's flip it over to Colgate real quickly. They've kind of been a little bit of a bugaboo for the Hoyas over the years in the Patriot League era. There have been other teams where you may have struggled, but you've kind of kept it really close in those games. Could have been either 50-50 toss-ups. The Raiders have been a struggle. Why do you think over the years you guys have had some trouble, even with Raider teams that may have come in with not the best records before you faced off with them?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at their record, it's not a great one, and they're probably the best one-win team in the country, in my opinion. They have talent and depth. They're tough. They run the football. They're dedicated to that. So, we're looking forward to going up to Hamilton and continuing this Patriot League schedule.
And Coach, one last one for them. They still have a 2-quarterback system. They still do that. What are a couple keys for you guys when it comes to attacking that offense?
We've been really blessed in the last 2 games to win the turnover battle. We want to put pressure on the ball. Our guys are doing a great job right now against the pass with rushing the passer. So, for us, it doesn't change. We talk all about the ball, making sure we're taking care of it and trying to take it away. The ground game, which we were able to win against Lafayette this past weekend, and explosives. And for me, those are everything from turnovers to 4th and 1 conversions to the big offensive plays that we're trying to create.
Well, a guy that has helped create some big defensive plays for you this year is our Sitting Down with Sgar Spotlight Hoya safety, Zeron Daniel. Zeron, thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
You had to sit the first half of that Columbia game due to a targeting penalty, and I thought, as an insightful guy as you are, it probably gave you a little bit of a 30,000-foot view, at least for that game, and kind of thinking about things. What has this team done well in your mind over the last 2 games to get those 2 impressive wins against Columbia and Lafayette?
I think that just that, our team is very capable and persistent, and we have a lot of talent on the team. And once we have everything firing on all cylinders, we're very tough to stop and very tough to bring down. Our team has a lot of faith in each other, and we're very tightly knit. So if someone does something bad, next guy, 2-3 guys are right there to bring him back up. And that's the mentality that we've been trying to have ever since we lost to Brown, which is honestly a few plays different, and that game would have been a lot different.
Rob, want to bring you back in. Zeron had the interception against Columbia that really helped ice the game. They did throw the Hail Mary late, but it was a big play there. Has 2 interceptions against Lafayette to put the game away. He feels like he's the total package in the sense that he's a safety. It's going to come down, going to lay the wood to you, but also has really good ball skills.
Yeah, I mean, when in recruiting, you want to get the players that both sides of the ball are going to fight over, and that's exactly what Zeron is. He is one of the hardest workers that we have. Excuse me. I better keep this cough. It's been good luck for the last 2 wins. Zeron's the reason why you coach college football. He's first there. He's last to leave. He's not extremely vocal, but when he speaks, everybody listens. He's extremely consistent. Really didn't even notice that he was out at the beginning of the Columbia game, not because he wasn't playing, but because he was into the game, helping coach his teammates. And then when he stepped on the field in the second half, he made a huge impact. So, definitely one of our team leaders, and really blessed to have him on our ball club.
Ron, back to you as coach. I think referred you a little bit there. You played some receiver in high school and were pretty good at it. Is that where your ball skills come from?
I like to say that's where it comes from. We were in high school, but also I just work on my craft every day, trying to get some ball drills going and using tennis balls and whatnot, incorporating different drills and practices. My coach Eaches does a great job incorporating drills into what we do and into what we trying to replicate what we do in practice in the games, and I feel like it's really paying off.
So, Ron, Coach Eaches, Coach Scarlotta, and all the staff talk so highly of him, but also that DB room. You guys are notoriously competitive in that group. The corners, the safeties, everybody. Are those two things that have really kind of pushed you to be the best player you could be?
Oh, 100%. I think that obviously there's a lot of depth. So being that there is that much talent in the DB room, there's a lot of push and pull for who gets what spot. And ever since I came in, I had the mentality that, I belong here. I'm going to earn my spot and show that I'm capable of being here and showing that I am who I say I am and who I represent myself to be. So, and I feel like definitely the competition that we have with not only in the DB room, but with the receivers as well, they definitely push us as well to become our best selves. And there's a lot of trash talk going back and forth, definitely. And I definitely feel like that has helped me to become the person I am.
Zeron, you briefly referenced it, the tip ball interceptions. You had one, which was a heck of a play. Got to give you your props on that. But Cooper Blumstrom had one too. Again, the defense, what are some things you guys do as a group to work on those to make plays like that?
Well, we have this saying called tips and overthrows. Got to have those. It's something that, everybody has to run to the ball at the end of the day as a defense. And whenever you see a ball in the air, the defense just lights up. You try 120% to get to that ball, and when you do get that ball, it's really just a dream come true. Just take it to the house and try to put one in the bank. But really, it's just all about fundamentals and pushing yourself to be better than who you were the next day, and giving 100% effort anytime you step on the field.
So, Ron, last one for you. I've already asked this to Coach Scarlotta, so I don't have to ask him. But with the playoffs and the Big Apple being a big time right now, baseball-wise, you Yankees or Mets?
Mets all the way. Let's go.
There you go.
Well, you're going to have some fun, hopefully, later on today as we tape this, talking as they take on the Dodgers. Zeron, congratulations on everything you've done. Good luck the rest of the way, and keep it going.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
That's Zeron Daniel and Rob Scarlotta. Coach, thank you so much again for joining us. Good luck this weekend as you take on a tough Colgate team. Like you said, the best one-win team in the nation. See if your Hoyas can come out with another big win.
Appreciate it, Jeremy.
That'll wrap it up for another edition of Sitting Down with Sgar. Remember, Georgetown at Colgate on Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern kickoff. See it in person if you're in the area, or watch online at ESPN+. Thanks to Coach Scarlotta, our guests, Hoya safety Zeron Daniel, and producer Eliza Kravitz. That's all for this edition of Sitting Down with Scar. I'm Jeremy Huber, Hoya Saxa.